Welcome, Virgo, to your Virgo November 2020 tarot reading and forecast. It's great to see the subscribers back. Great love and affection and energy towards you. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Now, look, incidentally, if you would like to have a personal clairvoyant reading with me, then just check out the information that's in the description box below. But now I'm going to draw 5 cards for you, and we shall see what they have to say. Now, this is a deck. It's a Russian deck. It's a deck by a guy called Yuri Shakov, and he was in the former Soviet Union. He died back in the 80s, I think, so quite some time ago. And he was a miniature painting artist, and the style of miniature painting has been reproduced on these cards, which I think you'll find quite enjoyable. So let's see what there is. The 6 of Swords. Oh, that's interesting. There's a bit of a Rider-Waite influence to it. You know my thoughts on Rider-Waite. I'm Ace of Cups. But that's a particularly good card. Gee, so's that one. Let's have a look at this picture here, whatever this may be. The 10 of Clubs. The 10, now clubs, that's not a suit you often hear of in tarot, is it? Obviously, Yuri, when he was learning English, learnt the wrong word. But assuming he did learn English, or whoever translated it, there's the 6 of Cups. That's a particularly good card, I have to say, for you, Virgo. And what is this one here? I'll show you the back of the card too, incidentally. There's Judgment. Okay, why don't you come and have a look at the interesting pictures on these cards while I give you a good, quick reading for what is in store for you this November 2020. Now, next month's reading will be published on the 11th of November at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. Here you have some great cards. Let's have a look at this card here, the Lord of the Root of the Powers of Water. It is the Ace of Cups, as most people know it. Lovely. This is about love in its purest sense. And what would love in its purest sense be, I wonder? Well, love gives nothing but itself, and it takes nothing but from itself. Love doesn't possess, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient to love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And don't think that you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, it directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love and have desires, or want desires with love, let these be your desires. To melt and be like a running stream that sings its melody to the night, to know the pain of too much tenderness, to be wounded by your own understanding of love, and to bleed willingly and joyfully, to wake at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving, to rest at midday and meditate upon love's ecstasy, to return home at night with gratitude, and then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise upon your lips. Now, the people who are going to be important to you in respect of this energy are Sagittarius, Libra, Scorpio. Now, this suit of cups embodies your experience of relationships, pursuit of happiness, love, fulfillment, pleasure. But of course, we can't have those experiences without having experienced their opposite. So I think that because the ace is the element of the suit, it represents the potential events of life's directions. With relationships, you are seeking to become whole by finding in another what you are lacking on your own. Abundance, the reinvigoration of an existing partnered relationship here, or a new relationship. Sensual passion is what I'm seeing. Emotional balance is available to be used and drawn upon you now for, another 6 months at least. You may well hear of a birth or a pregnancy, I think. There's a deep love also of yourself. And it's about paying it forward, about giving and receiving. The cup of unconditional love is being offered to you here. Will you drink from it? Very good opportunity for new relationships and for new romance, but it doesn't just have to be romance. It can be things like business relationships, friendships, social environments as well. It does represent unconditional love. So you should also give and forgive unconditionally in order to get inner peace. You are now in contact with an all-embracing love. It fills you and you can pass it on generously, lavishly to others. What is your way of expressing love? Let this card work on you for just a moment. Feel yourself as an open channel for the divine energy and say to yourself, all-encompassing love fills me and my environment. Well, where will we go? Well, we're on this line, so let's take this vertical line, shall we, and look at this one here. This is the, what do they call it here? Judgment, yeah, well, the spirit of the primal fire is really all it is. Here we have the angel Gabriel blowing a flute, and 3 figures rise up from graves with Russian crosses on the graves, in keeping with this rather interesting Russian deck, I think, here. Look, there's a major decision to be made by you, I think, which is going to have an impact on your life, such as a lifestyle or a career, or where you move, or who you get with. And these are positive, these things. These are positive. It's time to move on also after having seen the big picture. It could well be that you have been living a certain lifestyle and you now have the means to move forward into something else. And that could well be the case here for you. I think it's also a time for you to really take time out to see the bigger picture of something. You are the entire universe of love, of delight, of joy. Let me be also thus to you, O coiled light within me. In the light and in the night, let me be the vehicle of your love. Yes, let me be the vehicle of your love. There is very much the sense of closure around here, of definitive action that you're going to take, of pushing things away from the past. I think you're now being challenged to drop your kind of worm's eye view, to see things from a higher plane. And when you have recognized greater time spans and other contexts, which you are increasingly ready to do, I might say, you will then tend more and more to observe things in their beingness, to set free from evaluations. I think you might ask yourself, what methods will you use to gain deeper insight and greater wisdom? Say this to yourself, say these things, and keep these things in mind during this period. God is the unknown, the mysterious. The more that I don't know, the closer I am to the divine. I observe people and situations objectively and fairly. I value the combination of my qualities and characteristics. I honor the unlimited well of creativity within me to express in family and career settings. Well, it's as if, it's meant to be that good things are coming your way, because here we have, as you drew first, the Lord of earned success. Now, the Lord of earned success, otherwise known as the Six of Swords, well, for me, it's Mercury ruling the second decan of Aquarius, the 30th of January to about the 9th of February, I think. Now, the air planet, Mercury in Aquarius, the air planet of Mercury, finds itself in the fixed sign of air. Now, you might know that signs are cardinal, that is the first of this sign, fixed, which is the second of the sign, and mutable, which is the changeable third part of the sign. For example, you are a mutable sign, Virgo, but here we have the airy planet of Mercury in the fixed air sign, which is Aquarius. Now, Mercury happens to be exalted in Aquarius, which is really good, because being in exaltation, it means that the best elements of Mercury can come to the fore. And Mercury is about messages and intellect, and this highlights the intellectual qualities of the energy around you now. Aquarius is an air sign, which is detached and intellectual by nature, and Mercury's ability to analyze brings a clear perspective to you going forward. Now, the astrology suggests that a somewhat detached but balanced assessment of something is needed, I think, or a situation, an assessment of a situation. You need to analyze something without bias, without too much emotion to get the best result. Aquarius is also the sign of innovation or originality, and so this energy here can also represent the communication of ideas that are new or even unconventional in a very comprehensive and orderly way. It's a period of great mental clarity for you, and using your intellect and logic. Could well be a relocation involved here, and certainly there's a period of calmness coming up ahead. The unification of ideas, an all-embracing understanding and objectivity are bathed all over you. So I think what we have here is, for you, intellectual clarity through learning from difficult experiences in the past. And you have grown through some tough times, haven't you? And now you have a handle on life and can make intelligent decisions that is going to benefit your life. There's a greater level of awareness, I think, to your thoughts and actions. Now, I think that this might also suggest that there is a situation that you have not really been able to get a handle on to date. Well, that's going to start to get better, because you'll be thinking out a better approach in dealing with the situation. You possess the ability to perceive on different levels and from different perspectives. Your understanding of things unites many different aspects. Where are and what are the ruts in your life? Trust your insight. Communicate in a way others will understand. Allow this rose which is within you to come out into the sun and to unfold. And say to yourself, the rose of recognition blossoms in my heart. Well, shall we have a look at the Lord of Pleasure? Why not, I hear you say. This number 6, the Six of Cups, the Lord of Pleasure, this number 6 is very much associated with the sun for me, mystically. And coincidentally, I have the sun ruling the second decan of Scorpio in the card. Scorpio, that second decan, the 3rd to the 12th, I suppose, of November. So here, because we have 6 being the sun, that number 6, incidentally, I also have a great connection with Krishna consciousness or Christ consciousness within it, the energy around it. But here we have a double dose of the sun, and a double sun reveals, the sun in Scorpio, it reveals what Scorpio wants to hide. Now this pleasure here, this Lord of Pleasure, It must, in one sense, be understood in its highest sense. It implies well-being, harmony of natural forces without effort or strain, ease and satisfaction. Yet it also represents the fulfillment of the sexual will. But the pleasure is a kind of pleasure which is completely harmonized. Now, the zodiacal sign governing the card for me being Scorpio, pleasure in Scorpio, well, it's rooted in its most convenient soil, isn't it? This is a preeminently fertile card, and really it's one of the best in the pack. It speaks to me of pleasure, of indulgence, sexual pleasure, excitement. Now, that sexual pleasure may be obtained either in fantasy or played out in life. Communication with ancestors is something that's there, and also family support and family relationships. But you'll definitely be experiencing a lot of just pleasure in life also, I think, in addition to the more carnal aspects of this energy. And this pleasure is experienced after what I think has probably been much hardship with you, isn't it? You've had some much hardship recently. And I think also because I'm just looking at the top of these cups here, they've got like a brass look to them. Well, brass is very much associated with the planet of Venus to me, which is, among things, is about healing. And so I think you might be undergoing a period of healing and transformation. The emphasis here is really on relationship, the reinvigoration of a partnered relationship, or the desire to have a relationship, but a relationship that is deep, a deep relationship that gets right into your heart, right into your being, and one that will improve both individuals, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Enjoy now all which life gives you. This is the best way to express your gratitude. Are you holding on to old beliefs which prevent your enjoyment of pleasure? Enjoy your emotional wealth and share it with someone. Say to yourself, I am now open to a partner with whom I can share the joys of love on all levels. Well, that leaves us, I guess, only with this central card here, which is the 10 of clubs. Now, what do we have here? Well, we have a picture of someone sort of laden, don't we, with sticks. He's like that, I guess. It's because it's Saturn ruling the third decan of Sagittarius for me, that 13th to the 22nd of December. Now, Sagittarius wants to expand and express its optimism and its spiritual side. And Saturn, as you probably know, is all about, well, not just, but can be about restriction. And so it represses the expansive nature of Sagittarius, which may well be a problem, you see, because Sagittarius is spiritual, swift, light, elusive, and luminous, and Saturn can be material, slow, heavy, obstinate, and obscure. There is some talk here where one could feel as if they are overburdened or taking on too much, feeling the pressure or no control over circumstances, or a victim of your own success. But I think that what this card is doing is it's appearing here as a photograph, I suppose, as a snapshot, as a photo on your cell phone from something in the past, where if you look back, your will was blocked, and no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't achieve it. And frustration, anger, irritability could have resulted from the suppression within you. You may in fact even have begun to lose faith in yourself and your ability to get what you wanted. Sometimes it can refer to someone putting down. Maybe someone was trying to put you down in the past. But with these other cards around it, and this is the importance of looking at where energies lie in relation to one another. You've got the situation now where you have the tremendous aspect of the mind. You have the divine imprimatur for romantic and relationship success. There are new things, positive things going on in your life, and there's a great degree of pleasure that you're going to be experiencing in life. And I actually think what this card means is that he's about to throw these sticks down. He is saying to himself, do you know what? I have been walking through life carrying a sack on my shoulder, and in that sack are all the past events and people who have done me wrong. And I have been carrying the accumulated weight of all these things with me for a long time. But you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put it down. And that's what it's saying to you. It's saying, put this down. Because with that Sagittarius that's there, and Saturn is also about, well, it's about regulating things in a way which is proper. It's about, if you like, giving guidance as to how you should be living your life, your fate, the life that you are to live. And Sagittarius has Jupiter governing in it, which is a great expansion and philosophy and just sheer good luck. And this card is saying to you, put down all those things that you've been carrying in this sack. Forgive those people in the past. Now, I know it sounds very difficult to say, oh, how can I possibly go and forgive someone from doing that? And I know that some people sometimes say, there's no way I'll ever forgive anybody for what they've done for me. But while you're doing that, it's still in that sack. Because don't you realize that when you forgive, you are the one who is released. Now, you don't need to forget, and I'm not saying it's easy, but you are the one who is released when you forgive, when you let go. It is you who is unshackled and are released. And in combination with that, I see moving forward in these other cards here, prosperity, financial security and success, and general improvement in your material affairs. What a really interesting set of cards. Well, that's a good job, Virgo, and that is the way it is for you this month. Well, I, for one, really enjoyed doing that reading, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. Now, until I see you next month, remember one thing, and one thing always, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.